Good morning, everybody. Hello, it's Faye from Faye's Stampin' Studio. And again, I had the same issues this morning, so sorry I'm popping on here a few minutes later than planned. Today we're going to talk about friends are like seashells. It is such a cute and such a flexible stamp set and bundle. It comes with, you can buy just the stamp set or you can buy the bundle, and I believe the bundle is still going to be available for a bit longer yet. And this is the one large die that will cut out the Seashells 3D embossing folder, and we're going to use that today. So I'm going to show you how that one works. I'm going to use that, and then this would actually cut it all out. So that's kind of cool. It cuts it all and does that seaweed look and all that stuff around it. So this is the card sample that we're going to make today, but I want to first actually show you a couple of others that I made. You've maybe seen these already, depends, but I just thought I'd quickly share them with you again. This here one is using the designer series paper, and it's called Sand and Sea, and it's pretty cute. It's got some really nice stuff, really nice paper in it, and I don't really have too much of it because I ended up only just doing a part of the product share, so I've actually used up a lot of what I had. So anyway, that's the designer series paper, and this here I stamped, and then I just used the die and just used cut a portion of it off. So, and these are some stickers that are also available in that you can get to coordinate. And here's another one, and again I stamped each of these individually, embossed them, and then die cut them. So that's another really cute idea, another different way you can do it. And this one I did emboss it, but you can't really see it on that rainbow glimmer paper until you kind of get right close up to it, and you get as much of the glimmer and glitz as anything. And then I just die cut it out. So added a few embellishments, and in here I use the blending brushes to make that nice background, as well as on the front side I did that too. Anyway, so then now we're down to this particular one, and I'm calling this a floating pocket front card. I don't know if that's the name of it or not, but that's what I'm going to call it. So these are kind of cute because this is layered, this is added, you just put acetate on there to attach it so they kind of float around. And I've used the acetate on the sentiment, as well as this little shell here and this shell, that's tiny little shell that's back here. I use dimensionals to raise this one, and I just actually adhered the big Rocco Rose one, as well as the crumb cake one. And then it just flips up, and I used one of the little stickers inside here. So that's kind of cute. So that's what we're going to be making today. And I've chosen, I know the Rocco Rose is retired, but I thought it goes so well with this paper that I decided to use it. And I've already gone ahead and ran this through the 3D folder, so you can see the images of the shells on there. But for now, I'm just going to walk you through this one. So this here is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. But then you also have to score it some more. So I've actually already put the marks on it, so you're going to know which is the front and that. So I'm going to use my bone folder on there and do that. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer, set that here. So on this one, from this edge up here, you're going to put a tiny mark at 2 3/4 of an inch. And you're going to do the same on this other front piece. So at 2 3/4 of an inch, you're going to mark it. And then on this long edge, you're going to mark it at 2 3/4 inches as well. So the next thing we're going to do is put it in our paper trimmer and move that there scoring blade back. And we're going to line up this here mark with the mark on the tip. I'm just going to move it this way to make sure I've got it lined up properly. It looks pretty close, I guess. So then I'm going to bring this down and score it. And then I'm just going to turn it a bit, and I'm going to do the same thing on this other side. I'm going to score it here. So now you can see that. Move this, we're finished with that, so I'm just going to move it out of the way. So the next thing, we'll turn this up, and this is going to form our pockets. And don't worry too much if it's not exactly lined up, because with adding those embellishments on, we can kind of hide those. So what I used was, so to hold this pocket down, I used a piece of washi tape on there. So I'm just going to pull off a piece of that. Cut it here. And you want to put it just in the middle though, because you don't want it to show at either of these ends. So make sure you do that. So again, that's the size of that piece. And then the designer paper is 3.5 by 3.5 inches. So I guess I do need that paper trimmer one more time. And we're going to cut it from point to point on here. And cut it from point to point. I'm just going to set it over here because we're going to need that again. So this piece is going to fit right on here. Just like that. So I'm just going to pull out I'll use my Tombow glue on that one, I think. It's just a lot more handy to do that with it like that. So I'm just going to run a real fine line along the edge here. Pick that up and attach it just overlapping here into this edge. Got that. And then the other thing we have to do is, you can probably just fold this. It's just as easy as measuring anything. You can fold it, or you can measure across there as well. And you can just use your paper snips to trim that, cut that. And then this piece will go here, and the other piece is just going to fit in here. So you need that whole 3.5 by 3.5 inch square, and we're just going to attach it. This card goes together really quite quickly. It probably takes more time to arrange your embellishments than anything else. And it's a super day out here. It's already 20 degrees. So that's going to be nice out there today. I need to get outside and start working in the yard a bit. I'm wanting to work in my flower beds, but I'm waiting to see what my perennials are doing. It's not looking like they're doing very well. I've only got one of the perennials that I planted last year that has actually came up. So, yeah. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to bring this piece in, and I've got a dish with my I call them finger daubers, but I think they're called sponge daubers. And I think on this one, I'm going to make my Rocco Rose one to be one of the smaller ones. And I'm just gonna go off that a little. So I'm going to just run it this way. I don't know if that's what I did on my sample, because I actually have some made for you. So you can very carefully just do that around there. And actually it doesn't even matter if it's not. Oop, I almost used the same color again, you guys. That was a close call. And now I'm going to use crumb cake on these. I think I'm going to stick with that idea of using it on the smaller shells that are there. And there's one more small one someplace here. Sometimes it's hard to actually see where the embossing is, but the one thing that's nice about this, if you don't quite get all of it while you're embossing, you can just actually touch up the edges after the fact. And I'm going to put the balmy blue on this larger shell. I think it'll make it pop a little nicer on that Rocco Rose shade. Again, just do it as you can. If you want it a little darker, even if you wanted to add some other color to that, so it's more colors. In fact, I'm going to do that on this one. I think I'm going to put a little bit of that dusty rose kind of in the center of it. Take it just softly though. Oh, I like that. But you guys, gives it a whole different look, doesn't it? And then my last color is, I selected Old Olive to do the branches. So, I still have one more shell to do too, I guess. Decide on what shade that I should do that one. And I just used the green on. I put it on all of the greenery, the leaves, the seaweed or whatever it's called underneath there. I used it because we're gonna cut it out with the big shot, and then you have to do some fussy cutting and just cut things apart, which it's really quite easy with this. And again, like I said, you can always go back in and do more. So I think I will just use the balmy blue on this other shell, since I switched up the color on that other one a little bit. But I really like that look. It turned out really nice, I think. You have to tell me if you like it or not. Okay, so that's what, and then it would be ran through the big shot, but I've already made another set for here, so I've got them here. And this is what these ones are looking like. So as you can see, there is a little bit of touch-up required along the edges. So I will just grab my, sponge dauber here and add a little bit more, because in here there's a little bit of there's a wee bit of the green showing, so I'm just going to darken it a little bit with the, so I'm quite happy with that one. I should have left my stamp pads open. It's always kind of dangerous when you have cardstock laying around. You accidentally toss it into it and it kind of ruins things. Now this one I totally missed that end when I was sponging. So as you can see, you can just get it done. And again, make it as light or as dark as you want. And that's all you have to do. Okay. And I have one more of this guy left. And my Rocco Rose. We need to touch it up a bit. That's that one, and the last one is the crumb cake. I think I'm finished with these now. Kind of like that too. You can make it a little darker around the edges too. Okay, those are finished. Close up all my ink pads now. So I'm hoping that my perennials are gonna come back. I don't know. Hope it's just early. I'm hoping. Got my fingers crossed on that one. So the first thing I put in here was my, reach across here. I'm just gonna grab my silicone mat here. Put my green stuff in here. So now I am going to just I'm going to chuck this in here. And now you'll have to be careful. Don't stick it out the edge unless you have a larger envelope, because it won't fit on our standard medium envelopes. So you either have to put it low enough or have another envelope that you can use on there to decide how you want it in there. Okay, I'm going to use my glue dots to put those in there. Okay, guys, I tried to roll some of this, but I found that there was glue. Last time I was on here, I said, oh, I didn't like the way the glue dots were. Well, I tried to roll them, but then as I got rolling them onto another cardboard holder, I found out there's dots there on both sides of those. So that was kind of different. It was kind of a nuisance. So here you have to be careful not to glue your pocket shut. So you want to be careful with that. So that's why I decided to use the mini glue dots, because I thought they'd be a little more, I could control the adhesive a bit easier. Take your pick tool and stick them on there. Stick them in there like that. And I'll put one on this one too, and we'll see. I don't know if I need those other ones. I'm going to stick that one quite down low. I don't want it to be above my paper. If it is, not much. Okay, I think that is good for there. And I'm going to stick this in here, I think. Kind of. You just have to decide how you like it, what you want to do with it. Yeah. Actually, I kind of like that on there too, though, so let's decide. We can change them and do whatever. So when you put something over top of here, you're going to be able to at least kind of hide where it joins. So you're not going to see that. I think I'm going to put those on first. But I'm going to use my... Good morning, Ines. I'm glad you could come and join me here. Just got to be careful when you put these on that you don't get them where they're going to hang over, because I'm going to let this one kind of hang over that corner. So we don't want that to be like that. So, and I think I'll put that one on with a dimensional in behind, but I only use one dimensional on it. Yes, that pick tool is really very, very handy. It makes life a lot easier most times. And I especially like this tip that's got the stick on the back for picking up Brad's gems and things like that. So, okay. It's hard to decide how to do the layout on here. Actually, you know what? I think I want to do a little bit more sponging on this, but I think I'm going to use the crumb cake on the edge. Hopefully I don't wreck it. I want it to show up a bit more on that background. So I think we'll just do a little bit more on here. I want it to pop in there, so I think that helps. Yes, I love stamping. I probably hardly ever go by a day without stamping something. And it's mostly cards that I do. I do a few projects, but it's mostly cards. So, and now I think I'm going to use this glue on that piece because I don't want it to goosh out and have things stuck shut. Now, I'm just can't wait to show you the, if I haven't lost it, I hope, how to do these acetate things. I actually kind of started on them before because I wanted to show you, have them ready. So I put them on this piece of paper, cardstock, so I wouldn't lose them because they're very easy to lose when they just, with them being clear, they blend in everywhere. So what I did was I just stuck them on there, and I'm pretty sure they're too long. So, and then then I'll just use the mini glue dots again. Like I said, I don't like the way those are. And then I'll stick, I'm going to stick my shell on there. But these are two pieces, oopsie. The heck did I do there? That glue dot seems to have lost its stick. It's very sticky. I don't know. It didn't seem to be sticky. It wasn't holding that shell on. Put that on there. So yeah, it just makes it a little stronger. So yes, I'm looking forward to having workshops once we can open up a bit. Would you be interested in coming to a workshop in person, Ines? because I could certainly keep you in the loop once. I'm hoping I can do some anyways. So I'm going to put this one in. And the other way you can work these dots is you can actually put the thing directly onto it and just push on it, and that's going to get you, that's going to attach it there. So then you can get it right on there. And I'm going to tuck this one kind of way into it, and I'll push down so I latch it. So you can see they kind of float around, and they look kind of neat, actually. They're looking good. And, okay, I have one more to put on there floating. I'm going to attach this here. I'm going to try putting the sticky on the back of my, well, I don't know. They don't seem to be as tacky. But I'll use a couple, I think. Sticking on that acetate, the liquid glue doesn't work that good, so. Okay, well, if we get opened up, Ines, I will get a hold of you and get your number so that we can do that. Yeah, I like to do, have you been doing much stamping? Because I do the beginner class, and then I also have other classes that I do for others. But I welcome beginners to all my classes. So if you're new to the scene, then that's okay too. I'm going to tuck that on the front there. It's just a trial and error thing to get these where you want them. I'll use a couple on there. I like that up when it came through. I threaded that through there, and then I'm just going to have it bouncing right about there. Ooh, I like it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Okay, I got one more thing, but where have I put it, you guys? I've lost my... I had my greeting already stamped and cut out, but seems to me I'm sure it'll appear after I'm finished here. It was pretty small, so yeah, I must have lost it. I didn't lose this, but I've lost that. Oh, here it is. It's on my lap. I was going to make a new one. So I'm going to put wishing you the very best on this one. And again, I'm going to stick this on to onto my acetate piece. Well, on my beginner class coming up here, I'm thinking I have one on the 17th of May, I think, is that Monday next week? And I think I'm going to try do it by Zoom. Just because people can interact, and it's so much easier for answering questions and stuff like that. So, okay, where shall we put that greeting? Can't decide if I should stick it on there first because I might want to move the angle of it well, I'll try it. I'll put it on here. See where we can put this, tuck this in. Can tuck it in. Bring it out there, maybe. Where does it need to have something? Ooh, I like that too. I like it there. So I'm gonna just put some more glue dots on there. Or you could cut these off if you wanted, if you didn't want to have such long pieces. I think I cut these about 3/8 of an inch wide and maybe 2 to 3 inches long, probably closer to 3, 2.5 inches or so. Okay, there. And the last thing is to put my pearls on and a sticker on the inside. See, these are the little stickers that came in here. So yeah, I think I'll put the blue in on this one. Maybe I'll make a stack of them here. Zoom is so easy, Ines. Really, it is, especially if you are, especially if you're the guest. I'm not very good at it yet because I'm pretty new to hosting, and I'm hoping to get better at it. So here, I think I'll put those stickers on there like that. That just kind of dresses it. But again, if you put stuff inside, you want to make sure you stay back from the edge here so that it doesn't show. Well, I'm certainly going to keep you in mind for the next in-person class. I'm hoping by the end of May or maybe June we'll be able to get together. But I'm doing that just once a month, that one. And it's that cards, I call it Cards in a Cuppa, the beginner group. And they are, I hold it about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So then the majority of those ladies, well, those ladies, most of them aren't working out of the home, so they're available. And where should we put this other one? I'm going to just stick it right over there. You can just put them wherever randomly on there. And again, I've told the story I like to use. Usually I use 3. Use odd numbers. So there. That is the 2 of them. So which one is your favorite, Ines? Do you like the blue or the pink? Pretty hard to pick, I'm going to guess. But it's a tough decision. Okay. Well, I think that's everything for today. And again, I'll be on again next Friday at 10 o'clock to do another video to share with you some more techniques and some more folds. Oh, good. The second one, eh? Yeah. One never knows which one person's gonna come up with. I never like to make them the very, very same, so I end up changing things up. I like having them a little bit different anyways. Okay, well, thanks for all your input, Ines, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.